let's see. This is officially episode 4, and we don't have the full crew here because people got friends and family, and my sister is cleaning her fish for some reason. I'm like, why the fuck are you cleaning a fish tank, you idiot? But
I mean, you'd hope that they clean their fish.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't, they'll die.
Yeah.
Then she'll have to fry them.
The fuck people got fish for? Like, you can't pet them. Like, so it is.
They raise them for slaughter.
Oh God. It's Wednesday, May 13th, and I'm only doing this because Junior's like, don't keep the dates. I'm doing it for my personal madness and shit, so I think it's good to, like, say what the date is, and it's,
He likes doing his memoirs.
Yeah.
He does.
And plus, we gotta put this in the podcast for future, talks and stuff, so I went to BJ's, my mother got a BJ's account, and so, like, I'm tired of paying, like, $60 for a fucking bottle of Jack, because, like, I like Jack, but $60, I mean, you know, people got bills to pay during the Rona, and I'm not getting overtime no more, so I happened to look into liquor store BJ's and see what they had, and they got this one thing for like this big ass 1 liter bottle that was like $11.99, and it's called Canadian LTD whiskey, and I drank half a bottle of it, mixing it with Coke and cranberry juice, and it's kind of hard to describe what it tastes like. Mostly like
moose piss.
Okay, I'm gonna chime in on this one because you know what? I cannot deal with this man's taste in cheap liquor. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, Canadian LTD. Let me read off to you what it says. Okay, it says Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Okay, let me tell you where it's made.
Natural,
Owensboro, right? Kentucky. So let me get this straight. You made Canadian liquor in Kentucky? This shit isn't even filtered. I had a cup of this, and I felt like I lost 6 years out of my life.
Yeah.
This is not filtered. There's a gold label on it that's literally falling apart. Like, I don't even... What's limited about this? It's like... I mean, LTD, what does it stand for? I mean, like, literally... What I thought that it stand for is the literal threshold of depression. LTD. Yeah. You have to drink this liquor if you don't have anything left to lose. You gotta drink this liquor when you're so angry, you just need something to taste so bad, it takes your anger away from you.
Yeah.
That is what this LTD is for.
For $12, you know, you get what you pay for, so.
Then he bought Fleshman's on top of that. Like, he bought Fleshman's.
I bought Fleshman's vodka because it was $10.
That's like the underage kids rubbing alcohol that they drink.
Fleshman's Royal Vodka, and you know, yeah,
it's terrible.
It's 80% proof.
It's absolutely terrible. I don't know where his taste and I mean, I don't know if he got taste buds. He can smell something from about 6 miles away, but his taste buds are just terrible.
I just want to see what I was, you know, like when it comes to liquor. I didn't realize that, like, you know, I'm not a big drinker. I've been best friends with Jack Daniels and stuff because the whole Rona and my job sucks, but I want to see what the difference is between $10 whiskey and $60 whiskey. And yeah, there's a difference. So these are lessons to learn. But, you know, when you're blue collar like us and you're fucking broke, like that $10 whiskey, if you dump enough vitamin water and Coke Zero and tears into it, it's not that bad.
Definitely tears. Stressing and capitalize on the tears.
I'm sorry, you can still taste the difference.
That's true.
Yeah. It's just taking a lot of fucking filler, so. But we want to get some comedy off the bat because we want to do, just for a couple minutes, a serious note, because, like I said, we're not by any means trying to get fucking political, and when we start getting our Facebook stuff going and our Twitter accounts, we want to post shit like this for you guys because, like other major podcasters from Rogan to Stern to whoever, I want to have nothing but fucking comedy and make you laugh your ass off. And hopefully, if you listen to this too, you know, kill some time at work because when I'm at work, I listen to podcasts. It really kills the fucking day. But there also is some serious shit that goes on in the world. And the whole point of being blue collar is blue collar should be anybody. Whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're a woman, whether you're fucking Asian, old, young, we should all be together in terms of like blue collar. We're that, like I said, we're all fucked. We're all working hard jobs and we're all trying to make ends meet. So when some shit like this happens, I feel obligated, and when we get the Facebook page going, Junior will post stuff like this. But this was from May 11th, and somebody named Melissa Rice, and this says, I'll read this to you. Imagine being in your home, asleep, just enjoying your peace and safety, after being on the front line as an essential employee as an EMT. Imagine finally being able to rest, rejuvenate before your next shift starts. Then your door is rammed in at 1 a.m. by a group of folks in plain clothes. Nobody ever yells police. Your boyfriend doesn't know who it is because, again, nobody yells police. He goes into protect mode. Fires shots to protect his home. Even calls the police because He thought it was a robbery. Imagine your heart racing because you're terrified and unsure of what's going on. Now imagine at least 28 shots being fired. Imagine running for cover, terrified and afraid as you make it to the corner of your home and you're struck with 8 bullets. You and your significant other are asking for help, but no help is given. You saved lives as an EMT, but nobody in that moment is trying to save yours. So many shots are fired that they're found later in other apartments. In your last moments of life, you lay hurt, saddened, and I'm sure asking God why. Now imagine your name being plastered over the local news as a suspect in a drug crime when you and your boyfriend never even had criminal records. Imagine that the truth is the authorities got it wrong, was actually at the wrong house. That the guy they're looking for was never someone you knew of and was actually arrested the day before. Imagine the authorities lock your significant other up immediately, although he owns his firearms legally, but no arrest has been made for you. You don't have to imagine this because it happened. In Louisville, Kentucky on March 13, 2020 to Breonna Taylor. Say her name, she deserves justice. Her family deserves justice. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, deserves justice and his freedom is back. He's currently doing home incarceration and his pre-trial is set to June 25th, 2020. He's being charged with attempted murder. And there are pictures on this post of this, beautiful young black woman who is 20 years old and she's dead. And again, this is not political. This could have happened to a white couple, a black couple, Asian couple. It's still a fucking point that I've said on the very first podcast. I don't hate cops. None of us here hate cops. They got a job to do, but as human beings, they fuck up like anybody else. And, imagine just as they've listened to this too, you and your family, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you hear your front door gets kicked open, no one yells police, they're all in plain clothes, they're all in regular clothes, not police uniforms. Your husband, boyfriend, whoever, son grabs a gun, thinking, some 5 people are jumping into his apartment trying to rob you guys, fires a couple shots off, and they fired 28 fucking shots. So this was Junior's segue, and he wanted to talk about the most, but because I feel like for the most part, I kind of try to lead off the podcast and get into it, but I'll let Junior take over why he wanted to. He wanted to start this segment, basically talking about how this shit was important to him because he shared it on his Facebook page, not mine.
I'm just going to let you guys know that this is one of the prime examples of where what's been pissing me off for a very long time is accountability. Where is the accountability going to lie? Where is the justice really going to come from? An innocent EMT worker, an EMT worker, person that was on the front lines throughout this whole COVID-19 business, is now dead because of another error made by a police department. Where is the de-escalation training? Where is the things that need to happen to keep our people safe? I thought police was supposed to serve and protect. Yet we're already dealing with almost 200 police unarmed killings this year. People need to understand that this is really, really, really bad. This makes law enforcement look bad on levels that you can't even imagine. And the thing is just that where is the accountability? Accountability needs to happen in a lot of places. It doesn't just need to happen with the police department. I'm gonna chime in more on this, with her losing her life and stuff like that, which is really sad. I mean, it's not even just the justice that needs to be done for her losing her life, but there needs to be a new curriculum for police academy training. Everything needs to be revamped because obviously the cops cannot do their jobs properly. Either they're not doing their jobs properly or racial profiling is truly a thing. And if you tell me that racial profiling isn't a thing, it is a thing. Look at what's happened here. He got arrested. He's facing attempted murder charges after the police made a mistake. And what else are you supposed to believe? If other people come into your house in plain clothing and you don't even yell police, what are people supposed to think? You don't even have the proper procedure to do your job, but yet you're going to sit there and, you're supposed to serve and protect the people and you can't even do that properly? There's something is wrong there in the mix. Something is wrong and something needs to get figured out. Because I'll tell you right now, it's going to come to a point in time where people are really going to have enough of this. It's really going to come to a point in time. That armed Black Panther Party that showed up for that black jogger that got killed, they showed up there. And nobody came outside then. Nobody harassed them then. That whole family went out for a walk because they needed some air. They needed to clear their head. The Black Panther Party came. Wasn't nobody trying to go out there and interrogate them. Wasn't nobody trying to go out there and mess with them at that point. Do you know why? Because they would have got lit up. at that point. Or you're trying to harass people, you're trying to follow people, you're trying to come at people. Come on, in all actuality, they really didn't want that smoke. They did what they did because we weren't fighting back to that extent. And it's going to come to a point that we fight back, and it's going to be in a very violent way because the accountability isn't there. People need to start being held accountable for their actions. People need to start being held accountable for things that they're doing that they know damn well they're not supposed to do.
Yep.
There's a bunch of, it starts, look at it like this. You have the face of our country, the president of the United States, doesn't even take accountability for his actions. And if he doesn't take accountability for his actions, what makes you think that the government's going to make the law enforcement take accountability for theirs? It all starts at the top and it trickles down. This man literally sat there and told the country on numerous occasions that they have the COVID-19 under control. Why is the government still shut down then? Why is the country shut down? Why are we just reopening 2 months after everything was shut down for? If he had everything under control, his own administration stepped up and said, we have everything under control. So who takes accountability for the lies? Who takes accountability for the fact that you led this country into getting shut down over the past 8 weeks? Nothing is going to happen to this man for him lying to the American people. Nothing is going to happen. But God forbid, God forbid, I stand up and I say something to that extent. You know, next thing you know, I'll get arrested for something. They'll plant evidence on me and arrest me for something. It's crazy how accountability, the right people are the wrong ones that you can hold them accountable for. And it's crazy. It's bad. It's really, really bad in society. And it's just like accountability, and it's everywhere. Accountability is everywhere where people do not take accountability for their actions. And it could be something as severe as somebody getting killed. You know, like with the police killing this innocent lady, innocent, beautiful lady who did nothing wrong, who was saving other people's lives, who's now dead. You know what I'm saying? It can come out be as serious as that to something like somebody being violent and blaming it on a zodiac sign. People do not take accountability for their actions. You will sit there and say, like, let's just say me and Chris one day, we go out and we just decide, hey, I'm going to go up to this guy and punch him dead in his face. And then next thing you know, I punch him in his face and knock him on the ground and I start stomping him out. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, what are you doing that for? Why are you hitting him for? What did he do? Oh, I'm just an Aquarius. That just makes me naturally violent. Do you understand how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
So to use your zodiac sign as a reason to do things. You understand the implications of where your IQ just falls to below retardation by saying stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I cannot stand. Like this one person, swear to God, I quote this because I was dying to talk about this for a long time. This girl said, oh, the Mercury retrograde is happening tonight. That moon is red. I'm going to act up. You know, it's that Gemini in me. I'm going to act up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Pause. Stop everything. Please stop talking. How are you going to sit there and say, because I'm a Gemini, I'm just going to up and act up? What? You're going to act up because you want to act up. Yeah. It's not because of the fact that you're a Gemini. Your zodiac sign does not dictate who you are as a person. I'm going to let you know that right now. It does not. And if you believe that it does, that means you don't have a free will of thought. That means you're literally a slave to somebody else, because this person has a degree in psychology and sociology, and he sits and writes 12 paragraphs about basic human tendencies that could pertain to each zodiac sign. You might, at some point in time, we play a part. That doesn't mean it's 100% you and it dictates your mood for the day. I'm going to sit there and say, hey, Chris, you're a Leo, right? So if the Leo said that you had a bad day, does that mean you're going to be in a bad mood all day today? No, because that's not how it works. You don't just get to sit there and let your whole life get determined by a fucking horoscope. Who the fuck does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, I'm a Cancer, so I could naturally fight better than anybody else. What? What? And I know plenty of Cancers that got their ass beat. So it's not even, I just don't, I don't get it. Where does accountability, where do we hold ourselves to a higher standard? So we're not blaming a zodiac sign. We're not saying cop killings are justified. Where does the accountability start happening? It shouldn't happen in a poor community. It shouldn't happen. We're always held accountable for our actions. I bet you if Chris robbed a bank, he's going to get arrested for armed robbery. If there ain't going to be no, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to sugarcoat him being an armed robber. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, he's a troubled young man that robbed a bank." No, they're going to say gunman. They're going to say, something along the lines, something negative along the lines of him robbing a bank. You know what I'm saying? If I shot a gun up in the store, didn't shoot anybody, shot a gun up in the store, I'm a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you see what happened with that jogger person, that black jogger that died, that got chased down and murdered in cold blood. Guess what they said about them? Oh, that was father and son. 2 local activists in the community killed this one person, are charged in murder. So that's an activist? That's not radical? That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not crazed. There's nothing crazy about that. But nobody wants to talk about these things because of the fact that when you do talk about these things, people suddenly start getting technical and a lot smarter. You're not any smarter.
They start popping out numbers too.
Yeah,
because they popped on Google on their phone and now they're a fucking expert. Because I Googled these statistics and now I'm a clinical expert.
Yeah, and I don't know how people can really honestly think that. It's like, you do realize that Caucasians, I'm not going to say white people, I'm going to say Caucasians, because I actually have a bigger vocabulary than a lot of people realize. Caucasians make up about 69 to 72% of America. Okay? So obviously, if numbers are higher, it's because you have a larger population. The percentages don't add up. Obviously. So when it says only 10%, like, if you're saying, like, black on black crime, white on white crime, all this extra dumb and bullshit and stuff like that, it's like, obviously the numbers are higher, but look at the percentages.
Yep.
Don't look at the numbers, look at the percentages, because obviously the majority of this country technically is European Americans. Yeah. Because I'll be honest with you right now, Native Americans, the Indians, are the ones that's true natives to this country. People don't even know their history. You know what it actually says in one of the history textbooks that I actually read up as a kid is that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492.
Yeah. He
actually discovered South America in 1492. He didn't discover North America, but a lot of people tend to believe he's the one that discovered North America, and no, it was not. It actually wasn't until the late 1600s that people actually started arriving in North America.
Yeah, it's funny how our history books as kids lied to us and shit.
Yeah. Our history books are off. Like, our history books are actually wrong because Christopher Columbus started his South American exploration. Sorry, my words. Yeah.
It's funny. What's funny too, how much also too time has passed, and then they leave out stuff like when he was raping fucking women, when he was killing fucking men, when he was all the horrible atrocities he was doing. But it's funny, in school they don't talk about that shit though.
Keep in mind, history is written by the winners.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the truth of it.
But as usual, like I said, whether this is episode 4, episode 100, at some point someone may come back to him like, what Junior was talking about, the stuff with Trump, again, I don't give a fuck. If it was Trump in office, if Hillary fucking won, we as free people, we as blue-collar people, who pay your fucking taxes, who work all the time, again, we're not anti-Trump, I'm not fucking for Trump, This isn't fucking political, we're just saying that, however, we still have the right to criticize the president when he says dumb shit and praise him when he does good shit. Like I said, all of us, when Junior and Al are here, or Junior here, and Susan's here, we are all fucking down the middle. This is not a political fucking podcast. We're trying to talk about comedy. But, just like Lewis Black, again, no matter who is in office, we're going to fucking bust their balls. And again, you say dumb shit, we'll call you out on it. You say cool shit, we'll call you out on it. Simple as that. And this thing with this fucking woman, this is not anti-fucking cop. This is not fucking pro-black or anti-fucking white. It's just facts. Look up the fucking facts. This is a fucking black woman who got killed. Her life is not any more important or any less important if she was a white woman. If she just happened to be fucking black. My premise is... this is something I've talked with Al and Jen about, and hopefully they'll hear this and stuff, is that this will be a fucking recurring thing, is that, we can do a racism podcast and spend fucking 5 hours talking about it. Racism will be a recurring fucking theme with this, because if you're a blue-collar person, again, you should be against racism because you should be for your company that you're working for should be fucking equal. Everybody at your job, whether their skin color is said black, white, Chinese, man, woman, whatever, everyone should make the fucking same exact wage. Yeah, I'm drinking, but It's a fact that, racism is never going to fucking end. It's never going to die. We can't do it on just one podcast, but we can constantly chime in here and there, spend 10 minutes talking about it. And like Junior was saying about accountability, the problem is too, it could be fucking racial. It could be, these cops are like, no one wants to have accountability. It's like people do dumb shit and stuff too. They rob corner stores. What's not my fault? It was my neighborhood. They kill somebody. They rob a liquor store. They rob a fucking bank. Oh, it's because I'm fucking black and I had missed opportunities. No, not really. You could have fucking went to college. It's 2020. You could have fucking, this isn't the 50s anymore. I get it, back in the 40s and 50s, things were a lot different than they are now. Thing is, the three of us and our fucking parents, even our grandparents, different times, different fucking eras. Right now, even a fucking president can be a fucking black guy. People in Congress can be freaking black. People can be Hispanic or Asian, whatever the case may fucking be, whatever you are, man, woman, and stuff too. You have all the opportunities in the world to become something. Here comes the lack of accountability. Well, I'm a criminal, I'm a gang member, I'm a fucking degenerate because of, it's not my fault. No, it is your fault. Said you chose to fucking rob a liquor store. You chose to whatever, fucking beat your girlfriend. You chose to steal. You chose to sell fucking drugs. You can't get there. After a certain time period, the whole blaming everybody else, blaming society, blaming fucking whatever, your parents and shit too, it starts getting old. Yes, situations like we're talking about, this woman who was an innocent woman, she was an unfortunate fucking death. But now, like with accountability, what's the cops' fucking bullshit excuse for what they did to her? There's nothing. It happened not too long ago, and I love talking about this, not because a tragic person was killed, but this fucking man, you can look up the story. 10 years ago, 8 years ago, was down in New York City. The freaking cops pulled him over, told him to get out the vehicle. He said, I'm reaching for my cell phone. And they told me, hands up in the air. Okay, I'm reaching for my cell phone. Reach for his cell phone. The fucking cops unloaded 45 shots into this man. Like, okay, the average clip and the average gun is 12 shots, 13 at the most, maybe, with one in chamber. If all the fucking cops shot 45 times, the first 40 times weren't enough? The first 30 times weren't enough? You had to put 45 bullets into one fucking man reaching for his cell phone? Even if he did have a fucking gun, okay? You think he's going to take out with his single gun with 12 bullets? He's not fucking John Wick, people, okay? He's not going to fucking drop 12 to 15 cops with a single clip. You'd have to put 45 rounds into this guy? Like, really? And like Junior said, where's the fucking accountability for that? These cops, what'll happen to them? Get a suspension, maybe, possibly fucking, maybe get fired, but
paid administrative leave.
Yep.
I remember that case that happened down in New York City. I don't remember the guy's name.
I can look it up right now.
But the person, what literally happened was that every cop that was involved in that situation got paid administrative leave. There was no investigation. There was no internal affairs investigation. There was nothing. They just got paid administrative leave. So you literally just got paid to kill an innocent man. So if you look at it like that, you got paid to kill an innocent man. We don't have a problem with cops. You know what I'm saying? I've even called the cops on a couple of occasions. I legitimately called the cops. Like, I had to call cops. My brother had an anxiety attack and he wanted to go to the hospital. I called the cops. You know what I'm saying? Because that's they're there to serve and protect. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna call. You know what I mean? Like that's part of it. You know what I mean? Like, but when you sit there and cops shouldn't intimidate and fear. There's a big difference between, protect and serve than intimidate and fear. And when you have to fear for your life, the moment that you sit there and you run into a cop, that's a problem. And people don't see that as a problem. Do you know how much money police departments have paid out in terms of lawsuits and out-of-court settlements and things like that for all this stuff? You can't put a price on somebody's life. Like Philando Castle. I think that's his name. The one that got killed, he had a firearm, and he told the cops, "Listen, I got a firearm in the car." You know what I'm saying? He didn't even reach for it. He just said he had a firearm in the car, and he lost his life. When he let the cop know if there was anything, when the cop told him, "Is there anything in the car I should know about?" and he said, "I have a firearm, sir, that I'm licensed for," he got shot for that. He got shot and killed and murdered for that. He was murdered by the police officer. And they settled it out of court, and he still had his job. Where is the accountability? So the fact that the girlfriend got money for that situation means that everything is okay.
Yeah.
It's not. And the fact is that, and whoever defends this, it's okay if you want to defend it. We're not going to get mad at you for defending it. We're not going to get mad at you for, saying certain things. But you got to understand from our point of view, this is ridiculous. And it's like the accountability for any sort of situation, not just cop killings, it's just any situation, whether it's the COVID-19 response, whether it's unarmed police killings, whether it's just daily life that things happen and stuff like that, people cheating in relationships. Regardless of what it is, we have to start taking accountability for our actions. Because how hypocritical is it that we can't even take accountability for our simple actions, but you want other people to take accountability for their actions? That is the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard of in my entire life, is the fact that cops will sit there and do this. And yes, we want justice for this person. We want justice for that person. But what about all the dumb shit that you did? Are you going to take accountability for all the stupid shit that you do? No, you're not going to take accountability for that. You'll just say it's because I'm a Sagittarius that I did that. Why can't we take accountability for our actions? Why can't we just say I fucked up? Why can't people just admit and just say, like, I did this. I know I shouldn't have done it. It was my fuck up. I can admit when I'm wrong. Chris can admit when he's wrong. Susan can admit when she's wrong. We all can admit when we're wrong. But why can't other people? Like, why is it as a society we have to point a finger at somebody for our own personal actions?
See, I'll cut you off now. This is, of course, Wikipedia, which I know can be changed and stuff, guys, but also you can look at New York Daily News, Times, ABC News, etc., etc. You can spend any time you want reading this, but apologize for the year, because I thought it was about 10 years ago. This was February 4th of 1999, and forgive me for saying the guy's name wrong. It's obviously
20 years ago.
It's an African. Well, he's from Guinea, so it's Amadeo Diallo, and he's a 23-year-old man. The cops, 4 police officers shot at him 41 times. 19 hit him. And of course, the 4 were part of a now defunct street crimes unit. All 4 officers were charged, keyword, with second-degree murder and acquitted at trial in Albany, New York. Hey, down here. 41 times they shot at an unarmed man. So.
And acquitted of their crimes.
Yep.
Where's the accountability?
Well, like Junior said too, this is, we're not like, we can admit when we're wrong. If you're listening to this and if you're a police officer, if you know a police officer, by all means, explain to us how we're wrong. And this is, conversations I've had. I know movies aren't always realistic. I know this isn't real life. When you have things like tasers and rubber bullets and stuff too, I don't get what the point. Again, if you have 4 officers, and even the article says too, they empty their clips. Like, if this is an unarmed man, I mean, maybe it's too many movies I'm watching, but like, don't you shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the shoulder, possibly fucking, even if he did pull out a fucking gun, aren't you trained to like hit a person in the shoulder and body mass to disarm this person? You need to unload 41 fucking shots into a person?
That's how they're supposed to be trained. They're supposed to try and take them down, not kill them.
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to have de-escalation training where they're initially not supposed to use their firearms if they were to pull out a firearm.
That's why they're supposed to have tasers,
the bean bags and stuff, so yeah.
Susan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of accountability, I want you to chime in a little bit on this.
Okay.
Somebody was to come up to you. Let's say you were out with one of your friends, and one of your friends stole.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, she was with you and stuff like that. Both of you got caught. Mm-hmm. She says, you know what? You know you got my back, right? It's just the Libra in me that caused me to steal this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, it's just, I didn't have the money for this. You think you can back me up? What do you do in that situation for somebody who didn't take accountability for their actions? Like, how would you, like, go forward with that?
See, there's one of 2 ways. You could either tell them, take responsibility for your actions. You did this. It's not because of what your sign is. You could be like, you're the one, you fucked up. Do it.
Yeah.
Like, I was with you. I'll admit, I was wrong by association there. And if it were the other way around, and if I had done it, it's my job to go and turn myself in. They are not a part of it in that sense. Or you could say, you know what? You're my friend. I have your back. There's 2 ways of going about it.
True.
But either way, like, you can't blame the sign in which you're born under as what how it dictates your life.
Yeah. So let's talk about let's talk about something else then. What about in a relationship? A guy was to come up to you and be like, I'm a Capricorn, because again, it's very important that we mention our zodiac signs. I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story before I ask you this question. I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story. These women shall remain nameless. But these three particular women that I actually tried to talk to, we were having good conversations. The vibe was great. We hung out a few times. I had sex with a couple of them. But then here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. They asked me what my sign was. Okay.
This poor woman.
I said my sign was Aquarius. They hung up on me. I didn't hear from them again. Okay, literally, we had good vibes. We went out on dates. We had great times. But as soon as I mentioned I was an Aquarius, all that stopped. All of it ended. The third time it happened, I completely flipped out. Like, I literally just lost my shit. I said, how the fuck are you going to call my phone again? How dare you even come in contact with me again? After you had the audacity to hang up on me and stop talking to me just because I'm an Aquarius. Like, we had good vibes. We had great talks. We had all this stuff. But because of the fact that I'm an Aquarius, you stopped talking to me?
I found this on my phone for vocabulary.com. What does it mean to take accountability? Accountability is a noun that describes accepting responsibility, and it can be personal or very public. A government has accountability for decisions and laws affecting its citizens. An individual has accountability for acts and behaviors. Sometimes, though, taking accountability means admitting you made a mistake. Also, this is according to Emanet.org. It says, personal accountability. It's a willingness to answer for the outcomes of your actions, choices, and behaviors. When you're personally accountable, you stop assigning blame, the shoulding on people, and making excuses. Instead, you take the fall when your choices cause problems. And again, it's a people, very few people want to take accountability. It's just like whether it could be a race thing, it could be a gender thing, could be whatever, a police thing, military. Nobody wants to take accountability for shit. It's everyone else's fault. And when Al was here, and I'll wait till he gets here to tell the story, but not just fucking Al, we've had this happens all over the freaking country, whether it's at white, black, whatever. People, they fuck about their job, and it gets really, really annoying is that you're a total fuck about your job, and accept it, hold it down. Stop saying, well, the company's racist, the company's sexist. No, dude, again, we had this problem, and when Al gets here, we can reiterate this sometime. Second shift at work starts at 3 o'clock. Not 3:05, not 3:10, not 3:01. You clock in at 2:59, 2:55, whatever, you can hang out in the break room. Work starts at 3 o'clock. Every job, every at least major company that you apply for has a probationary period, When the first month you're late, Monday 3:02, Tuesday 3:03. The first week you're late 4 times. Second week you're late 2 times. Third week you're late 2 more times. When you keep clocking at 3:05 every single day, dude, it starts at 3 o'clock, not 3:05. And then 2, any job, if you work with vehicles, you work with like fast food, whatever, if you're constantly damaging product. So in our case, the company that me and Al work for, there is, we have vehicles and stuff. When you're damaging property, when you crash 3 different buses in the first month, they're probably going to let you go. But you want to sit there and like, well, it wasn't my fault, and the company doesn't like black people. No, dude, you're late 15 times the first month. You ripped off a mirror off a bus, you crashed into a pole, you caused a flat tire. Could be you. So, take some fucking accountability and some responsibility for that. Stop blaming the system and white people or men or whatever the case may be, and maybe it's you.
So going back to my question, Susan, about accountability.
Yep.
So a guy comes up to you, like a guy you've been dating for a while, and he sits you down, he says, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I cheated on you. I really apologize, It's just the Leo in me that caused me to do that. I really thought that I'm a loyal person, but it's just me being a Leo. It's really hard to resist temptation. How would you respond to that?
Okay. good for him. He came up. He was honest. He cheated. Men have... This goes back to something Chris's mom has told me a million times. Men think about sex every 30 seconds of the day.
Probably.
Yeah, that's true. I watch a lot of porn.
So, it is much more common, to some degree, to say a man will cheat rather than a woman. Women are deliberate. Women, if they cheat, it's because they're like, oh, I'm not being loved enough. Oh, he doesn't care anymore. Oh, this, oh, that. Or they're just psychopathical bitches.
Or sluts.
That too. So if a man cheats, to me, that's not as big a deal. Okay, it hurts. It sucks. Yeah. But at least if he's honest, not as big a deal. But if he's blaming it on his sign.
Yeah.
If he's saying it's because, oh, I'm a Leo, or, oh, I'm a Capricorn, oh, I'm an Aquarius, oh, I'm a Scorpio, oh, I'm a Libra, oh, I'm a Gemini, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. No. You cheated because you saw a tight ass and nice tits.
Yep.
And that's it. Or you saw saggy tits and a flabby ass. It does not matter. Some bitch threw herself at you. That is why you cheated. Not because you're a Leo. Not because you're a Capricorn. Not because you're an Aquarius. Not because you're this. Not because you're that. It's because you're a man, you have needs, and your needs were not being met.
I have a really deep question for you that I really want you to answer. And this is going to... I need you to answer this. Because I need a woman to answer this question. Is
I'm
cheating
half a woman, so let's see how this goes.
We won't get into that. But is cheating normal? And if it is, why is it normal?
Before she answers that, because we listen to a lot of podcasts, me and Sue have listened to a shit ton of Kevin Smith, and I love when Kevin is done his podcast, and he's had live events, and Kevin is an actual ordained minister. Kevin can perform a marriage, and on different podcasts, he'll get two people up there, he'll actually perform a marriage. He's licensed to pronounce you man and wife. Kevin has given the speech, I've listened to it at least 100 times, and he would say, what's funny about marriage, he goes, marriage is one thing where you are promising yourself to one another. In our DNA as human beings, we're not meant to just sleep with one person. It's not in our DNA. Like men are meant to fucking spread our seeds. Women, for the most part, too. It's like our DNA, biologically, we are meant to, sleep with as many people as fucking possible. And the reason for that is, obviously times have changed with 7 billion people on this planet. But when we had thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, every species on this planet is meant here to whether take God into the equation or whatever, we are meant to procreate. And the way to procreate is if you're a male of the species, you want to impregnate as many women as fucking possible. If you're a woman of the species, obviously, you want to get pregnant as often as possible. Not saying it's kind of stereotype or it's how people are nowadays, but I'm saying from a evolutionary standpoint, from a biological standpoint, that cheating, we want to feel that we've evolved as a species to not cheat, but in all reality and stuff too, it's definitely going to be a biological thing where it's to sit there and have sex with just one person for the rest of your life, it does go against everything in our human DNA.
So why be in a relationship and why get married?
That's evolution. That's evolution. That's also religion too.
But that's not evolution, because if people cheat, then they didn't evolve. They're just continuing to be the same person.
Well, I said too. Then that comes down to religion. How much religious? Again, religion is just every religion across the planet, whether it's Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, whatever. Most religions don't believe in having. Well, first off, cheating. In some religions, if you cheat, you get a bullet to the head. Especially in other fucking countries too. Mm-hmm. If you cheat and stuff too, they will kill you. But even in America though too, a couple hundred years, wasn't that long ago. I mean, come on, it's if you were a woman back in 1500 and stuff too, Massachusetts or something, or New York, and you cheated, your husband could beat you or kill you or just whatever the case may be. If you
showed anything other than ankle in the 1500s, women was getting beat.
It even happens nowadays, but what's also funny too is, hey guys, say what you want. It's a fucking man's world. We know it and stuff too. The man cheats on his wife back in the day. It sucks. She had to fucking deal with it, and that's no one cared. The woman fucking cheats, they'd hang her. Mm-hmm. And what's funny too is, and this is not going to rag another
country. This woman would come along to raise her children.
Yeah, But like even right now and stuff too, this goes on in 2020 in other countries. Guys, pick up a fucking book, do some news reading, Google something. You ever notice too in every other nation and stuff too that this happens? Why is it that the guy has 9 wives? You know, why is it that the guy has 35 children? You ever notice that the woman doesn't have 10 husbands? Think about it. You know?
Society would dismantle her if she had more than one.
But other countries don't, other religions, why is it okay for these people? Like even like, you know, we don't know too much about their religions, but like when you sacrifice yourself to some supreme higher being, the thing is like your promise of 72 virgins. Why do you need 72? It's like, but again, but if the woman, how many? I highly doubt that when the women sacrifice themselves, they're believing 72 male virgins gonna be fucking them. Like. But so yeah, so the premise too of marriage and being truthful to one person, that's become part of religion. That's become part of our culture and stuff too. But take that hundreds and hundreds of years ago, that wasn't the case at all. It's just like we try feeling that we are evolved now more as a species compared to like 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. But it said from a DNA, from an animalistic standpoint, animals don't deal with that shit. Cats and dogs, monkeys, whatever, none of them deal with that shit. Only we do. Said have this morality tales from a species standpoint. We deal with that, and they don't. So,
but here's the thing, though. But what we believe is that if you're in a relationship, it's exclusive. You know what I'm saying? It's exclusive to if you're dating, it's open. In this generation, though, dating isn't a thing because in the same thing. Here's like a little bit of a graph I want people to see. If you're dating, it equals that you're talking. Mm-hmm. I hate that phrase. Oh, we're talking. No, you're dating. If you're dating, equals talking in this generation. You know what I'm saying? Because I got drunk one time and I was at a party. I remember this. Don't ask me how, but it made me upset because that's why I remember it because I was really fucked up this night. So I was at this party. I was talking to this girl, and she was like, you know what? Honestly, me and this other guy's kind of talking. You know, you're a really good person, and honestly, I wish I'd have met you first. But me and this other guy's talking, and I was like, talking about what? Like, I didn't know because I didn't understand the lingo at that point in time. So it was just like, I was like, talking about what? I was like. You talking to each other? I was like, we're talking right now. What are you talking about? Like, I'm drunk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not comprehending. But as days went on, and I actually still talk to her to this day. Hilarious, right? She's single. I still talk to her to this day. It's funny, right? But to this day, I never understood what talking was. What is the premise of talking to somebody? You sit there and say, well, we're dating. No, because I hear that you're dating when you say that you're talking. But you're saying, oh, I'm talking to him. About what? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you reiterate that for me, Susan? Can you make me understand why people say we're talking now instead of just saying we're dating?
Well, from my perspective, when a girl says she's talking, when she's talking to a guy, that means basically, like, you know, she's interested in it. That doesn't mean they're dating. It means that she's interested in him. Mm-hmm. And she's going to continue to talk to him until it finally becomes a thing. Mm-hmm. This generation, when I say this generation, I mean anyone maybe your age on up.
Which one? For people with podcasts, they can.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris's generation on up.
Definitely, I'm actually a millennial too, which is creepy. But
yeah,
you're far from a millennial, Chris.
I mean, but in terms of
he's still in that like
you're in the age gap. You're in the age gap, but you're far from a millennial.
I'm 38 in 2020, so it's just saying I'm not like nobody here is 15. You know, it's like or 18. So
in our age demographic, from Chris's age down to, I'd say, anyone born in 1995. So the millennial age group.
Yeah, so we'll see if you think like 30 or 25.
25.
Okay.
I'd say 25 to 38. That's a good.
Okay.
So anyone in that general age gap, there has been no, like, you don't date. You don't, like, go on a date with this guy. Okay, cool. It didn't work out. Move on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That didn't work out. Move on to the next. That's not a thing. Because the moment a girl goes on a date with a guy, it's like, oh, she slept with him. No, they just went to the movies. No, she slept with him.
Yeah.
A guy goes on a date with a girl, they slept together. I just took her out to dinner. But you hit that. No, I didn't. We just ate pie. Oh, you ate pie already? No.
Wow.
It's that type of thing. And it's the way that is. Like, if you go back to, like, all of our parents' generation, they could go on a date with a guy. And if, like, say our moms didn't get along with a guy, they could say, okay, cool, move on to the next guy. Yeah. Until they found that person that they wanted to be in a relationship with. Us, you go on a date with a person, automatically you're dating the person. Whereas that's why they use the term, I'm talking to this person. Because it's easier to say I'm talking to them than I'm dating them.
Yeah. Because
to say you're dating them, that could mean, okay, well, you're in a steady relationship with this person. No, I'm just feeling this person out, seeing where their mindset is, seeing where they're going. I'm not in a steady relationship with them because I'm talking to them, but I'm also talking to you, and I'm talking to this person, and I'm talking to this person. You see what I mean?
See,
yeah.
I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you why. I don't like that. It's because of the fact that dating is open. It's keeping yourself open. The actual aspect of dating somebody is keeping yourself open and testing the waters and seeing what that person is about before it becomes a full-blown exclusive relationship. A lot of people consider, like, regular relationships like marriage. Like, there's this one person that was just like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. established here, but you're not married. You're just in a relationship.
Yeah.
But they consider being in a relationship like married already.
Don't do it.
Because they'll sit there. Why are you pouring Fleshman's into that cup?
I'm pouring Fleshman's vodka into this glass.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's pouring fucking rubbing alcohol into a fucking glass of Coke Zero.
This shit was $10.95 for a reason.
Oh, fuck. I'm never drinking this fucking Canadian.
Oh, dude, did you mix that with the freaking LTD?
Yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
Oh!
Son of a bitch.
It tastes like a moose put his dick in my glass and he just started peeing. Like...
So, I mean...
Canadian moose dick.
It's like,
I'm sorry, I can't concentrate right now. I need to see how he reacts to this.
I mean, he barely was able to smell it, so we already know what that's
more,
about.
Actually.
Oh, hell no. So
did he say he's putting more in?
Yeah, he really said
I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, part of this podcast, you understand. Junior, like, wants to do it now because Jen and Al are here. But Junior, what's your nationality? I mean, we label you as black, but you're not really fully black. So.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna say this, guys, because I know he wanted me to say this for the longest time. He wanted me to say this.
What are you? We've never determined. In our family, we refer to Junior as the family pet.
Yes, I am the family pet.
As many times as he runs away, he comes back.
Pretty much.
Plus, you got to feed him too.
That too.
I fed you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, and you didn't feed me?
You're not around.
You're upstairs.
So drag your fat asses upstairs once in a while.
That's too much work.
That's true. That is a lot
but
of work.
I can walk down the stairs. Nice.
Well, walking down the stairs is easier than walking up. Uses less muscles.
Anyway.
Like, frowning uses, frowning uses more muscles.
Than smiling, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but I never smile. So anyway, so what is my nationality? My nationality.
Please explain.
Okay. My nationality is, because I actually did Ancestry.com on me. Right? I actually did the test on me. You ready for this? Get ready for this. Yo, that's my drum roll. Anyway, so I am part Brazilian. Exactly 38% Brazilian. I am 35% black.
Damn.
12% Russian. And 3% Native American.
So you have a drop of Cherokee?
Okay, all right. My dad...
That's every... Notice, no. Every person who ever says they have Native American blood in them, unless they actually have Native American blood in them. Not saying that you don't.
Yeah.
But Chris, you know this, being someone who has Native American blood in them. Like, actual Native American blood.
Yeah.
Most people, when you're like, okay, well, what... There's like a million different tribes. What are you? And they're always like, oh, I'm Cherokee.
That's what my dad says all the time. He says I have a drop of Cherokee blood in me.
You said a splash.
He said a drop. He said a drop. Like a single drop. Like, you know, like a drop of cyanide that I want in my system right now every time he talks.
It's a drop of Cherokee.
Yeah, he's like, you got a drop of Cherokee blood in you. That's why your skin turns red in the sun. I was like, no, it's because I'm part Brazilian. Anyway.
It's because you're burning.
Yeah, it's because I'm burning from all my anger and hatred. So the rest of the percentages boils down to like a bunch of European descents, like Dutch, a little bit of Dutch meat. I'm a mutt. I'm an actual mutt. Like, I have blood in me from around the world. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, it's cost $100, but it actually told me everything about myself. Like, a third of me is within dad. And this makes everybody laugh because this pisses me off.
God hates him.
Yeah, God honestly hates me in this situation. I can't fathom to you how much I'm trying to fight those part of the genetics. Like, that third of me, I'm really trying to fight because I'm losing more of my hair every day. And that's the 33% of me that pisses me off more and more every day. And Chris points it out. He's just like, "Oh, your hairline's getting pushed back," and now I'm just like shoving Rogaine into my skull. Yeah. Like, I'm probably gonna have poisoning at some point.
I can't wait for the Facebook page where we actually put pictures of ourselves, and if this lasts a long time, so we're gonna put pictures of May 2020. Then we take a picture of Junior in May 2022. You're gonna see an extra inch go back.
It's not gonna happen. The Rogaine's actually working. I'm getting some of my hairline back.
You got 5 head now.
Oh, hell no, I don't got no damn 5 head. I'm losing that 5 head. It's going to be back to 4 head in the next couple of weeks. I'm fighting genetics. We're not going to do this. So today, I'm glad that I pretty much, we had a lot of great discussions today especially about accountability. Because I swear, it's just like, that is the one thing that it's not even just police. It's not police. It's not government. It's regular people that can't even take accountability for their actions.
No one can ever take accountability for what it is that they do.
using examples. So
we point out examples of real life things that's happened.
And again, if you want to chime in and stuff too, if you have somebody in your life that is not accountable for their problems, could be fucking because they're like, oh, I'm an alcoholic and stuff too because of my genetics. Like, no, look. Alcoholism definitely affects people differently and stuff, but the bottom line is you choose to fucking drink that shit. You choose to smoke cigarettes, you choose to be fat. It's like I hate, like, Junior, because Junior has a thing for fat people. It's like,
You're the one who chose to drink the Canadian LTD, not
right,
me.
Goddamn right.
Okay, first of all, my thing for fat people is the inconvenience that a lot of them put on to me. I don't hate fat people.
But don't you hate
your father?
But don't you hate fat
honest.
people that they say, "Fuck, I'm fat because of I got a bad thyroid." Chris Tucker's like, "Well, stop fucking eating thyroids." Like,
okay, here's the fat people that pissed me off. There was this one guy. I swear to God, he wore like size 64 jeans. This guy was fucking massive. Like, literally almost double my fucking pant size, and I'm fat as fuck. So that this motherfucker was fat. So now, I'm sitting there at work, and I'm literally sitting there, and I left the fucking warehouse, right? And I'm kind of drunk when I was at work because I was just really pissed off.
That's quality employee right there.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm a really quality employee. I had to drink before I went into work, so shit was rough.
You've had those days, Chris.
Anyway, so
no comment.
So
I drive for a living.
Jesus Christ!
Not at that job.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like what? It's like when y'all have to say "excuse me" 5 times to get around you. Because you take up so much fucking room in the middle lane, that pisses me off. Like, when you're fat and you're fucking, like, and you're really, like, wasting my time, like, you have your own fucking orbit. Like, it literally
Is this
felt...
the same guy who's late all the time because he goes to McDonald's before coming into work?
No. This is just a customer that shopped there at the job.
Yeah.
He literally sat there, like, I swear to God, it was like walking on the fucking moon to get around him.
For those of you who don't know, Junior has... like many stories about many different fat people. He could go on for about a good 3 hours alone.
Yeah.
But that's just one example of I don't hate fat people, but it's those big motherfuckers that get in my fucking way that pisses me off. And I'm fat too, and I point that out a lot. I'm fat. But there's a difference between being fat and like active and being fat and gross.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? But
that's my whole point. It's just like, it's annoying when just like, well, I'm fat because. No, you're fat because you plowed down 5 double cheeseburgers and 3 shakes, okay? That could be a factor as well. Now, there are very rare, and I'm talking like, 1 in like a billion people that can eat salads all day, can work out, and they actually have weight problems. That could be a chemical reaction or a genetic thing. But for the most part, again, stop fucking blaming people. Like, stop blaming genetics because you're a fucking fat hog. It's simple as that.
Stop. Hold yourself accountable for those cheeseburgers you shove down your fucking throat, you piece of shit. Now,
Jesus, you hear the anger?
I have a lot of fucking anger. My heart hurts. Yeah. My heart hurts.
Again, that's our boiler because we're in the basement because we're fucking poor.
That broiler, I feel like it's about to explode every time it goes off, and I'm probably going to be the first
That'd be fun to record in a podcast, because it's probably going to hit Junior first, and you're going to hear him run around screaming.
The person who's the furthest away from the
person who's furthest away from the broiler, the most angry, gets hit first.
So again, what makes it kind of appeal for this podcast is the fact that we are losers, and we're literally recording this in a basement. It's like,
bye, broiler.
Yep. And I'm drinking a Canadian LTG whiskey.
Yeah, what?
Made in Kentucky.
No. I need to say this. This is Canadian LTD whiskey. LTD stands for literally at the threshold for depression.
Yep.
LTD.
And boy, am I depressed because.
Oh, I'm depressed.
This would be a segue eventually. Like, also, because I don't want to. As usual, time is getting kind of short and stuff, but like, a real quick segment we can do for a long time is like, look, this is half serious, half fucking comedy and stuff too. I have no problem. Listen to episode 1. I sound like total dog shit. And look at when you see pictures of me, of Junior, of Susan, of Al, of Jen. Nobody's accusing any of us of being fucking models, except Jen and Susan are actually pretty good looking. So, but compared to like, the 3 loser fat guys here, we're not. we know
I'm ugly as fuck.
We know what we are. So, definitely be able to crack on yourself. Be able to joke on yourself, stop getting easily offended, and take some fucking accountability. Take some accountability. If you're fat and ugly, fucking hold it down, accept it. I mean, come on, I've accepted it. I've accepted the fact that, nobody wants to fuck me, including myself. Like, I hate myself so much, I literally take fucking showers with my underwear on, like, and I'm not joking. Like, I mean...
If you're a part of the PC culture, do not listen to any of these podcasts. If the
Please
PC
don't.
culture, if you're easily offended, if you feel like that, you're just going to be like, oh my God, I didn't like that he said that. Don't even bother coming on to this. If you're the type of person who likes to laugh, who likes to chime in, who likes to get creative, chime into these podcasts. Because I can promise you right now, your comments, if there's something you want us to talk about, we're going to talk about it. We're going to look at these pages that we make within the next, we're going to make it these pages that we make, and we're going to talk to you guys about the things you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
This podcast isn't just us. It isn't about just us. This podcast is about you guys. You guys relating to us and our issues and our suffering. Well, my suffering more. And, and
I got suffering too.
Yeah, it's just
it's why I pull my pants down. I suffer. Like,
Jesus Christ.
God, no.
So it's just like
TMI.
it's just like it's related to the our suffering, our comedy, our opinions, our strong opinions about government and accountability and about relationships, about anything that we talk about in these podcasts. Let us be your voice in this. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to do. That's what Blue Collar Losers is all about.
Yeah.
And end of the day, though, too, like, keep in mind, we crack on each other just as much as we crack on anything
Exactly.
else.
Like, trust me, there's nothing you can say on the internet that we haven't heard before. And like I said, there's nothing you can say about me that I haven't said to myself. And plus, nothing a woman hasn't said to me. Like, you can't say, oh, Chris, you're fucking ugly. I'm like, okay, get in line. Like, I've heard that 10,000 times.
Yeah.
As we wrap up, though, I'm going to sit there and say, I'm be like, I really like doing these podcasts because, like I said, we talk about things and we put the stamp on our opinions on these things, and we want you guys to also put your stamps on these things.
Yeah,
talk to us. Don't yell. Don't go crazy on Facebook with all this nonsense. Talk to us. Let us know where you want what you want us to talk about, what area of what topic of discussion you want us to reach.
It could be something we haven't thought about. So.
Exactly. There's plenty of things that's going on in this world that we don't know about, and there's plenty of things that we do.
That's the thing. And the difference between us and you guys is that I just said I bought an iMac, I bought some podcast equipment, but like the premise of this too is that we don't have a major fucking studio. We don't have $10,000 equipment. We're just three people that are working all the time. These guys, they're taking some time off work. That wasn't their fault, but I'm still working 45 hours a week. Alan Jr. couldn't, Alan, my sister Jen could be here because they're both working and stuff too. We just want to be common, everyday fucking people that you can relate to. And if you're listening to this, I hope you're at work. I hope whether it's midnight, whether it's fucking 10 a.m., and just kill some time and have fun. And like, you got an opinion, share it with me. Just let me know. I will tag you on Facebook or Twitter. I'll give you a shout out. And I just want to talk to people and have a good time, because during this Rona, and again, during this, while you're at fucking work, you need some shit to make you laugh and to make you think too. And I said, we can't, for the most part, have these topics we talk about, like accountability and racism and fucking wage gaps and shit too. None of us are going to change it. None of us can do much about it, but we can fucking talk about it and at least laugh about it.
And in the end, if you don't want us to do something like that's so heavy on one of these episodes, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Like I said,
we don't have
that's
to
why
do
we're not political
sometimes.
either.
We can do just like random funny shit where we can, make fun of like our friends, like talk about like just different shit that makes us laugh.
Make fun of my dad.
I got plenty.
Junior making fun of his dad.
I got plenty of funny ass prison stories. Junior's got funny dad stories. I got funny of like me trying to fuck a lesbian stories. Like, trust me.
Oh, Jesus Christ, those are
Let's not
hilarious.
get into Chris trying to fuck the lesbian.
Let's get into that, but in other episodes, we're going to get into that. That is a fact.
Because it's funny.
If you're gonna get into my daddy issues, we're definitely gonna get into talking to him about
that's
fucking
gonna be a thing too. Is
man.
like that's gonna be a thing too. Is like the fucking all three of us plus Al and Jennifer. We got no fucking secrets. We have no reason to lie about none of this shit. We want to be honest, and this is like I said too. I've loved Howard for 35 fucking years now and stuff. And the appeal of what made Howard Stern initially becoming popular and a household name was Howard's honesty. And Howard would talk about things nobody else would talk about. Howard would talk about, his wife having a miscarriage. Howard would talk about, shaving his fucking pubes or something, or his masturbation, or just...
He wrote a book about that.
I mean, yeah, but Howard, like, initially, I said, part of, like, we can go into another time period, is just, like, I don't feel like some of the stuff with Howard has changed, which I don't like, but the three of us stuff too, we're just real fucking people. We're not celebrities, we're not superstars, we're not fucking models by any fucking means. We're just average fucking blue collar people.
All right, guys, you guys have yourselves a good one.
And I'm gonna like ending. I'm gonna find a way to like make the tagline perfect. But again, I'm always gonna say this, guys. This shit's free. I'm actually paying for this, and I don't want your money. I don't need your money.
Hell no.
Junior and Susan don't want to need your fucking money.
Keep your money in your pocket where it belongs. Because
I was listening to YouTube today at work. I'm not gonna mention the guy's name. Very entertaining guy. He was funny as hell. He did a live stream, and hey, thanks guys for my $5 donation. Thanks guys for my $20 donation. Thanks, guys, for my $50 donation. And the guy probably made like $1,000 at least, just like talking for an hour. And I wouldn't feel comfortable whenever we get into YouTube and stuff and do YouTube live streams. Don't want your fucking money, guys. Like, people are donating $50 to this dude. Entertainer, funny as hell. But like, again, that $50, you tell me you can't put like that to like feed your kids. I mean, do something. Don't give $50 to a guy sitting in his basement talking on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm not cool with that shit. So.
Donate it to a local hospital.
Something that fucking matters, man. Let's say the three of us got money. Our bills are paid. Pay your fucking bills. Take care of your kids. Said donate $5 instead of giving it to me. Get the fucking St. Jude's. Give it something that matters, but not. I said not three assholes sitting in the basement.
Nope.
So, but I have no idea when next one. But once we hit officially episode 5, like Junior said, we will get the YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and everything else going, and we will invite everybody to please join us and just sit back, grab a fucking beer, grab some fucking Canadian LTD whiskey.
Please do not grab the Canadian LTD whiskey made in Kentucky.
What the fuck?
Grab a fucking blunt. I don't judge you, man. Fucking do a line of fucking coke, whatever fucking case may be.
Just have fun and listen to us.
Have fucking
losers.
fun and just sit around and like Susan said, be a loser with us and invite your fucking friends too. So, all right, we're out.